हेलो एंड अ वेरी गुड इवनिंग टू ऑल ऑफ़ यू। आप सभी का स्वागत है हमारे चैनल इंडियन मास कम्युनिकेशन पर। और आज इस वीडियो लेक्चर से हम मीडिया थ्योरीज़ के बारे में जानेंगे। सो आप लोग जल्दी से जुड़ जाइए और मुझे बताइए कि मेरी आपको आवाज़ क्लियर आ रही है कि नहीं आ रही। आप मुझे देख पा रहे हैं कि नहीं? ओके, सो वी हैव विद अस बिधन, प्राची, कीर्ति एंड आई कैन सी अदर पीपल ऑल्सो ज्वाइनिंग। सो let us start. Up till now we have completed all the communication models. Okay, I hope you guys are following our videos and doing things at a timely basis. So guys, when we talk about media theories, it is a very important part of media studies or communication studies. So it is the foundation or it is the framework within which we are going to do our research. And अगर आप पढ़ाएंगे बच्चों को तो theories is always going to be there. Okay, so in this video we are going to set a blueprint. Okay, मैंने कल आपको एक वर्कशीट दिखाई थी, एक्सेल शीट, जिसमें 100 से ज़्यादा थ्योरीज थी. सो प्रॉब्लम यही है ना कि हाउ आर वी गोइंग टू लर्न ऑल ऑफ देम? आर वी गोइंग टू जस्ट पिक देम फ्रॉम समवेयर और एक थ्योरी आज ये कर ली कल वो कर ली? इजंट इट? आप 100 की 100 थ्योरी कैसे लर्न करेंगे? आपको लर्न की कोई थ्योरी करनी नहीं है, आपको समझना है. ओके, so why media theories? Let us first address this question. You all know that in the modern world, so when we say modern, some words should come into our mind. Okay, industrialization, okay, post industrialization, 20th century, okay, mass production. So media emerged as a very important social institution. जिस तरह से पहले की सोसाइटीज़ में चर्च का रोल होता था, ओके, टेम्पल्स का रोल होता था, स्टेट का रोल होता था. सो उसी तरह से अगर हम ब्रॉडर कॉन्टेक्स्ट में देखें सोसाइटी के, ओके, सोशल कॉन्टेक्स्ट में देखें, सो मीडिया प्लेज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट रोल इन शेपिंग आवर आइडेंटिटीज, इन शेपिंग दिस सोसाइटी, कल्चर, everything, our decisions, our frame of references, field of experiences. Okay, so mass media as a social institution have emerged as a social institution में जो आपको बता रहा हूँ. जैसे it is not just any other kind of machine like your washing machine, okay, or some kind of let's say a musical instrument or a pen, paper. It has turned itself into a social institution जिसका आपकी जीवन पे बहुत ज़्यादा प्रभाव है, और आपके जीवन पे ही नहीं, पूरे वर्ल्ड ऑर्डर पे. ओके, आइडेंटिटीज, रिप्रेजेंटेशंस, हेजेमनी, हम इन सब चीज़ों की बात करते हैं. वाई? बिकॉज मीडिया हैज़ टर्न्ड इनटू अ सोशल इंस्टीट्यूशन विच इज़ अफेक्टिव आवर लाइव्स. ओके, विच इज़ प्लेइंग अ वेरी प्रोमिनेंट रोल in deciding the world order, okay, in deciding identities, in deciding, say, gender, okay, all these things, they are all impacted by mass media. So it assumes many of the functions formerly served by traditional social institutions, जैसे मैंने आपको बताया, church, temple, state, okay, or you can think of other institutions such as parenting, families. Okay, family is a social institution. Okay, similarly mass media, I'm talking about mass media. First we should address what actually is the mass media. Okay, so let's move on. So why do we need to study media theory? To study the complex dynamics of how media shapes our perception. When we talk about social psychological theories, किस तरह से let's say spiral of silence, okay, or cognitive dissonance, how it shapes our perceptions. Okay, it influences communications. Okay, how, like technological determinism, so they say that medium is the message. और ये बहुत सही बात है. जिस तरह से मीडियम इवॉल्व होगा, मीडियम इज मोर इम्पॉर्टेंट देन द मैसेज. लेट मी गिव यू एन एग्जाम्पल. सो विद द राइज ऑफ OTT or with the rise of the communication technologies which gives you more power of the content, you are going to always go with those technologies. Let's say internet, so it changed the power dimension. Earlier you used to wait for the content, whatever was on TV, you are going to watch it. Now it is on your own choice, you can download it when you want. Okay, so technology or the medium decides what the message should be. So with the coming up of say internet, a whole technology actually wiped out. So coming up of internet, if you look at it from music industry, okay, the whole industry of cassette industry, you remember those days when we used to collect cassettes. So one cassette used to have 5 songs, both sides it used to consist 10 songs. We used to buy them, we used to collect them. Okay, then CD industry, it wiped, they got wiped out. Okay, so in order to study the complex dynamics of how media shapes our perception, influences, and how it constructs narratives, it is very important when we talk about propaganda. Okay, it acts as a tool to propaganda. It constructs narratives in the society, what is beautiful, what is not. When we look at from say gender perspective, अगर हम gender के perspective से बात करें, so popular media creates a ideal image for men as well as women. So for men, those muscular guys, okay, those 6 packs is considered to be the ideal man. Okay, or there is a certain color to it, and for the women, that ideal body type, and it is actually very unhealthy. But media perpetuates those ideal body types, what should be, what is desirable, what is not desirable, all the traits, how a woman should behave and how should the men behave, okay, how to react. So it creates narrative in the society. Okay, so media as a social institution has the power to mold public opinion. See, when it starts to mobilize people, mobilize is when it starts to affect people at a at a larger pedestal. So it can mobilize people to vote for some party. It can be used as a propaganda tool. Okay, it can be used to sell something which is not valuable, but through advertisements, a lot of things which are being sold, they actually don't have any value in our lives. Okay, but they are being sold because of that advertisement, mass advertisement. You go to a that store, what do we call them, general stores. So you will find 100 kinds of biscuits, 100 kind of wafers, 100 kind of everything. Do we need all of those things? But there is an artificial demand because of mass media. Okay, you might be subscribing to a lot of OTT apps और आप उनको देखते भी नहीं होंगे, but they have been sold to you because the demand has been created by mass media. It plays a pivotal role in shaping cultural norms. Okay, we already talked about it, and values. What should be the ideal behavior, what should be the ideal role of a woman or a man in a society, what should be their jobs. Okay, so everything is gendered. Say places are gendered, jobs are gendered, then costumes are gendered, everything is gendered. Or identity may what is it supposed to be a South Asian, so there is representation in Hollywood films, and it is always stereotypical, or of the people of color. Okay, so understanding media theory equips us to critically analyze its impact on individual and on society. So one individual, and those grand theories are which look at a larger perspective of society. Okay, so tomorrow you are going to do research. Okay, then you will be needing all these theories for a good research. These are going to be roadmaps or blueprints which are going to guide you. So don't just think that they are just going to ask rectification questions. You actually should understand these theories. You should create or cultivate that media aptitude in yourself, or if tomorrow when there is some kind of discourse, you should have your say. Okay, and it is a very interesting field of study. For the next 5-6 days we are just going to cover all the media theories. Okay, चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. So media theories are the frameworks for analyzing a mediated communication. Okay, some another new concept is going to come. Okay, so media theories are a framework. They explain something. They explain either a phenomena, okay, or they explain a relationship between media and audience, a relationship between media and society, how it actually affects the psychology, mind, behavior. Okay, and these are also very complex terms. When I am going to speak about societies, it has broader context. So some says that it actually creates a mass society. Okay, we are going to learn about what is mass society in great detail in our upcoming video. Some say that they have converted this into network society. ठीक है, कोई कहता है कि with the progression of media, so they some people, they even bifurcate it into modernism and postmodernism. Then some look at it from the perspective of structuralism and post-structuralism. Okay, or say what media ought to do in society. So they define roles which are normative theories. Okay, when they look at it from the power structures, what media exactly do or how it disbalances the power structures in the society, we talk about critical theories. Then when it talks about how it cultivates culture, it becomes cultural theories. Okay, or how it shapes identities, hegemony, representation. Okay, when we look at media from the perspective of gender, we talk about feminist theories. Okay, so my idea is, our method would be to club them into all these various disciplines. Then it will be very easy. Okay, so let us begin. What is mediated communication? So this is going to be mass media theory. Okay, we have already learned a great deal about communication theories through those communication models. Okay, what is verbal, non-verbal, intrapersonal, personal. So you should you should have covered it on timely basis. I assume. And please don't आई वुड से कि आप अपना ना जो भी है टाइम टू टाइम कवर करते रहिए, कुछ भी कल के लिए छोड़िए मत. ठीक है. So mediated communication is, it is carried out by the use of information communication technology. So what is so special about it? It's so self-explanatory, but it actually changes the meaning. Okay, so when the communication is mediated, it is a perception of that mediated technology. So it always changes the reality. Okay, it is little exploitative because it is not face to face. Okay, so it is done through mass communication, जिसको आप इतने सालों से बोलते आ रहे हो. So the process by which a person, group of people or organization creates a message and transmits it through some type of medium to a large, anonymous and heterogeneous audience. It is very important. So mass communication एक प्रक्रिया है, आप इसको मीडियम की तरह लेते हो, बट mass communication it is actually a process, okay, through which a single message, a message is transmitted through different types of channels, which could be either radio, films, okay, or you can say it can be न्यूज़पेपर्स. और दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, इससे आपका एक PYQ पूछा गया है. सो वेट, हाँ, द यूज ऑफ लैंग्वेज इन मीडिएटेड कम्युनिकेशन इम्पोजेज अ ग्रिड ऑन, अभी बताया ना, मीडिएटेड कम्युनिकेशन इम्पोजेज अ ग्रिड ऑन रियलिटी. ओके, सो इट कल्टिवेट्स रियलिटी. ओके, आप न्यूज़ देख रहे हैं, so you don't know what is so you don't know about a city. Say there is a city X in this world and you are sitting say 5,000 kilometers away from it, but you are just going to know about that city through that video. So it is going to impose a grid. When we talk about cultural theories and also gatekeeping theories, we are going to repeat this concept again. So it is also inspired from that concept. So it creates a grid on your reality. So say many of us might not have gone to Japan, but we have an idea, visuals, how Japan should look like, which has been cultivated through mass media in the form of those cartoons, those comic books, okay, those films. Similarly, it sometimes, as Walter Lippmann says, it create stereotypes. Okay, so let us move forward. See, this is also a very important, I will come back to it. Okay, so guys, there is a little progression about the evolution of mass media. So mass media has been there since time immemorial. So earlier there used to be folk media. So in the times of Ashoka there used to be there were those messages written on poles. Okay, then there was folk or traditional mass communication through fairs. Okay, but when we talk about technology, it all started from 1440. So with the invention of Gutenberg's printing press, okay, which led to the rise of newspapers. So in 17th century also you will find multiple newspaper, London Gazette, Corontos, okay, and there was the rise in the production of magazines. Okay, then in the 19th century you will find there is a there is also progression of mass culture. मैं अभी आपसे लोगों से बात करूँगा mass culture क्या होता है, ठीक है. Then Benjamin Day, penny press, okay, telegraph, cinema, 1895, okay. Then 1920 मैं अभी इस पे आऊँगा. यहाँ से scholars ने इस mass media को बहुत I would say they started taking it seriously. They found that it actually was having impact on many levels. So behavioral level, then it was shaping the public opinion, then audience was perceiving different messages. So till this time nobody thought about studying the media from academic purposes, or when we talk about medium or mass media research. So यही तो हमारा मेन मकसद है ना इस पूरे पेपर का. So in 1920s you will find that there are people like Walter Lippmann who are talking about the effect of media, role of media. In 1940s, people like Harold Laswell are defining the function of not media, mass media. So he, along with C.W. Wright, he defines 4 functions to media. Okay, surveillance, then entertainment was one such, correlation. So now they are defining the characteristic or the effects, impacts of media. And आपकी जो एग्जाम में है वो from 1920 to till 1990s इतना ही कवर करता है, हम आगे भी बात करेंगे, ठीक है. Then there comes radio. So it's little controversial. Radio started in 1894, not started, invented by Giorgio Marconi, but the broadcasting started in 1920s when the receiver was made available for the people. Okay, so radio rose to prominence, then television. Then in 1960s there was the invention of internet. If you guys have seen my video on the evolution of internet, the ARPANET and those story, it creates the idea of network society, global village. अब इसके बारे में सारी बात करेंगे. और जो अभी चल रहा है, it is generative AI. So machine is being trained. Okay, so moving forward, let us see how should we learn about media theories. Okay, so we can either look at it from the lens of say chronology. So how things progressed, like what we were talking about yesterday. So in 1920s what happened, in 1930s what happened. So I am going to share 2 methods with which we can learn theories, and this is going to be our blueprint for next 7-8 days. We are going to cover all the theories, all the PYQs on this channel. Okay, so the relationship between the text and social structure, it is actually also related with cultural studies and Stuart Hall. So it is mediated. Okay, mass media mediates the text and the social structure, the meaning. ठीक है, mediate simple भाषा में क्या है, जैसे मैं आपको example दे रहा हूँ कि social structure, the relationship between text. Okay, text could be anything. So it can be a film, okay, it can be an advertisement, it can be a newspaper article. So what are social structures? It can be looked at from the multiple perspective. It can be class, it can be gender, okay, it can be say nationality. So the relationship between text are these things, say television, those things, and social structure. it is mediated through mass media. So all these meanings of gender, nationality, what is it is supposed to be, you know, a man, woman, what we were discussing, it is mediated. The meaning is mediated through mass media. Mediated is it is created. ठीक है, चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. In mass communication the audiences are, see this question came again, जो अभी हम बात कर रहे थे. What should be the right answer? So we have Bidan, Prachi, Kirti, Sudeshna, Sonal and Kailash. Okay. Pranam, Sonal. So it should be, the right answer should be, is it well defined? Is it anonymous? Is it homogeneous? It is heterogeneous? Is it scattered? So guys, let us go through them one by one. Okay. Is it well defined? What is well defined? That we know who is going to receive our message. Okay. So in the case of mass media, we just discussed, look at from the perspective of process, not just media. Okay. It is a process where we disseminate message through a channel to multiple audience. Okay. So many a times it is not well defined. We might not know who are watching our video. So let's say this YouTube is also a kind of mass media. I might not know that people from other disciplines, say somebody is if preparing for business related exams, so business communication people are also watching these videos. So they are not well defined. They are anonymous. Yes, they are anonymous. Okay. So I know many of you, but like there are near about 2000 people who have subscribed to this channel. I might not be knowing all of them. So they are anonymous. What is homogeneous? Homogeneous are like there is a box, there are balls, or say some elements. If they all are same, they are homogeneous. Okay. What is heterogeneous? When they have different characteristics. So the audience are not homogeneous. Okay, they belong to different class structures, they belong to different nationalities also, sometimes different genders. So we have many intersectionalities in, so they are not heterogeneous, they are not well defined, they are anonymous, they are heterogeneous, they belong to different cultures, they belong to different, this is a PYQ. Okay, and they are scattered. So the right answer would be B, D and E. Now comes a question which I want all of you to answer. So what do you think, what is a mass society? So we are going to discuss about mass society. It is related to critical theories and also direct effect theories. So in one line, whatever your understanding is, you should tell me what is mass society for you. I am setting a field for tomorrow's class. Okay, I am setting the stage for tomorrow's class. What according, please don't refer to internet. If you think you are going to, you are going to develop your own thought. Okay, so it will be very helpful for you to retain all these things and to understand it. So it's open for all of you. Tell me in just 1 or 2 lines what according to you is a mass society. It is a sociological concept. Okay, in sociology it is a very important concept. Okay. What according to you, tell me in 2 lines, is mass society? You can be, there are no wrong answers. So as we discussed about the meaning making school of thought of communication, in simply term, a group of homogeneous people. Okay, good. What about others? A group of societies. Swag is saying, okay, thoughtful what you said, but not exact. Okay, so very good attempt, Swag Kanya. What is your name? So I find very interesting names. So somebody had its name in the form of good food, Swag Kanya, and then film wale. Kailash is saying, when we believe in one idea for a time for a time duration. Very good, Kailash. Very good. Very thoughtful. Mass audience and mass communication. So see, you guys, know everything. You are just here to revise concepts, I think, because see what a like very thoughtful and wonderful thoughts are coming in comment box. So let us take this forward from here only. In mass communication, we defined the audience as heterogeneous. Okay, so they belong to different they have different characteristics. Okay, now when we talk about mass society, we actually, if we look at it from historical perspective, we look at, say, early 1910s or 20s, okay, or even late 90s, okay, with the invention of steam engine, industrialization, urbanization, okay. So as some of you only said that, okay, where there is a similar thought, एक रूपता थोपने की कोशिश की जा रही है, and it is being controlled by a group of people, okay, and all the societal structures which were in traditional societies, okay, where there used to be communities or there used to be folk culture. When we are looking at it from communication perspective, mass communication perspective, so every discipline has its own perspective. When we talk about, say, literature, so what is literature? Say those writings during this period, they might fall under the mass society. So when we look at it from philosophical perspective, there are new philosophical thoughts emerging. But from mass communication perspective, producing, okay, like lack of originality, we can say, okay, as some of you pointed out, homogeneity, okay. And what exactly mass communication is doing? Mass communication is the process which has heterogeneous audience. It is also enabling this homogeneity, don't you think? Say one message, it is the same message designed for different communities, different heterogeneous heterogeneous audiences, and it is turning them into homogeneous. Same message, everybody is being made or is being turned into a way that everybody starts responding to the same messages. It's very powerful, na? Same language. Are you getting what I'm saying? I'm just setting the stage for critical theories when we talk about mass societies, mass culture. So always remember, mass communication, the audiences are heterogeneous, and mass culture, the audience is homogeneous. Okay, yes, standardized is a term. Very good. ठीक है, आगे बढ़ते हैं. देखो, इससे भी काफ़ी सारे PYQs पूछे गए हैं, मैं आप लोगों को यही बता रहा हूँ. ठीक है, नाउ लेट अस डिस्कस सम प्रोग्रेशंस इन media theories, okay, and some perspectives or lenses through which we can look at it. Okay, so wait. So it's a timeline of progression of media theories. Okay, so yesterday we discussed that communication has been a subject of inquiry since time immemorial, or we can say the ancient cultures. So in ancient cultures, in say West, we had Aristotle, Plato. Okay, they were trying to deconstruct this process of communication, so they wrote extensively. Aristotle came up with the concept of rhetoric communication. Okay, there were treatises such as Poetics. In East, there was a lot of work being done. So Vedas, they were being written from 15th BC to 5th century BC. They wrote this, and this Vedas were written through oral tradition. It talked about the role of communication in Hindu way of life. Okay, then there was a Buddhist thought. Okay, it talked about the role of communication in attaining the that condition of nirvana. Then there were treatises, say Natya Shastra, okay, which actually talked about dramatics. Okay, it talked about rasa theory, and there were many attempts which were being made. So there were also linguistic attempts in East. I am forgetting the name of that book. So there was a book which actually talked about the grammar. I guess Panini. Can you please check it on internet? Okay, there was a treatise on just grammar, how to use it. So there were multiple attempts which were made during the ancient cultures in East as well as in the West. Okay, but when we look at the mass communication theories, or the idea that something can be so powerful that it can directly affect or it can directly alter our reality, it can alter the power of thinking. Okay, it can alter the societal structures, it can alter the world order structures. So it started with the, yes, Sonal is saying Panini's, okay, it was called Vyakran. Okay, good. So see, you can also check it on internet and can tell me on in the comment box if I made any mistake. So we already discussed the progression of technology. So 1440 it the newspaper began. Okay, then in 1920s, okay, so Walter Lippmann, he wrote the book called Public Opinion, okay, where he talked about that the mass media is actually simplifying or it is creating stereotypes. Okay, so it began with the idea that media had direct effects, and there were other school of thought, say Frankfurt School. It was looking at media from the perspective of critical theories. What is critical theories? So critical theory is not just limited to mass communication, it is a interdisciplinary concept. When we look at power structures, okay, when we look at power structure, say from the perspective of economy, so who is owning the factors of production, Marxist perspective, or from the perspective of gender, okay, who is actually having that hegemony over representation. So when we deconstruct or when we critically analyze the power structures in society, so they are when they talk about mass culture, they actually are suggesting that this media or this mass media is being used by elites to to earn a lot of profit and to exploit the working class. So they have turned this idea of making art into factory production. So like in factory they produce shoes, they produce t-shirts. So when, like Prachi just pointed out, when the term standardized, when they produce something in factory production, everything is standardized. It starts to look same. There might be little altercation. So if we look at jeans is the best example of standardized clothing. Okay, so standard, and it becomes very cheap also to produce, because we have set the finalized our processes. The processes are at place. We have to just run it 24/7. Okay, like when we talk, let's understand this with the help of an example of clothing only. Okay, so there is a thing called haute couture. Okay, so in France, people used to the rich or the opulent people, they used to prefer wearing those hand stitched clothes which were specifically designed. So when we talk about haute couture, it used to be only one piece of clothing which used to be very, very expensive. So it used to be only made for king, queens, or the people who belong to those families. So, and when we talk about, say, standardized clothing like jeans or t-shirts, they look same. So when we talk about creativity, look at it from the perspective of, say, folk cultures and mass cultures. So folk culture are original, but with the turn of mass culture, they were starting to decline. Okay, mass culture tries to homogenize everything. So if you look at films, if you look at say comic books, if you look at novel writing, if you look at say other work of art, so there is a very famous author called Walter Benjamin. He writes that work of art इन द एज ऑफ, इसके बारे में आज ना आपको 2 पन्ने पढ़ने हैं, ठीक है, पूरा मत पढ़ना. यस, कस्टमाइज ज्वेलरी ऑल्सो, वर्क ऑफ आर्ट इन द एज ऑफ मैकेनिकल रिप्रोडक्शन. इट इज अ डॉक्यूमेंट्री ऑल्सो. just search it on YouTube. It is very interesting. Okay, you will find it very interesting. Watch there. I guess it is in 3 or 4 parts. Mechanical work of art in the age of mechanical reproduction. Okay, so now they are saying that this art, say films or story writing, they have also turned this into factory mode of production where everything seems to be same. So when we look at those K series, so K series is very important text from the Indian media studies perspective. What is K series? So those produced by Ekta Kapoor, Balaji. Okay, some might say that okay, those are just trivial tele series, but they were very ideological. How they portrayed say women on screen. Okay, or they were very ideological. So some people, some scholars have looked or I would say deconstructed them from the perspective of many theories, Indian theories also, say bhakti theories or representational theories. Okay, or the idea what actually derived, or what the idea of pleasure, why people were watching them. Actually we knew that they were actually trash, but there was that value of pleasure which many housewives were deriving from those texts. Okay, so this is all idea of mass culture. दोबारा से मैं एक बार रिवाइज कराता हूँ आपको कि मास कल्चर क्या है. जिस तरह से सामान बन रहे हैं उसी तरह से आर्ट, ये जो आपके मीडिया टेक्स्ट है उसको भी फैक्ट्री प्रोडक्शन में बना रहे हैं, और ये बिल्कुल आइडियोलॉजिकल है. ठीक है, एलिट्स जो इसको बना रहे हैं वो प्रॉफिट मोटिव के लिए बना रहे हैं, लोगों का माइंड वॉश करने के लिए बना रहे हैं, उनको उन पे एक रूपता थोपने के लिए उसको बनाया जा रहा है. ठीक है, देन देयर वाज एन आइडिया विद BF Skinner's operant conditioning, that experiment, that the people were reacting to the stimulus. Okay, wait, let me open that slide. Yes, so the behavioral psychologist BF Skinner's learning theory states that a person is exposed to a stimulus, okay, which evokes a response, and then the response is enforced. Okay, so this stimulus in our context was mass media. Okay, mass media was that stimulus which with which people were getting exposed, and they were evoking a response which was sometimes unimaginable also. When we look at say 1940s in Nazi Germany, what actually it did. Okay, so there can be a so there can be a small response, so people are buying something can be of larger implications. Okay, and it actually led to one and another. So Walter Lippmann came up with an idea that it was also manipulating the public opinion. Okay, mass media. So for the first time people were realizing that mass media actually was acting like a stimulus, and it was evoking a response from the audience. Okay, चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. And with the turn of other decades, say 30s and 40s, mediums such as films and radio, and also in the coming years television, they become very, very, very prominent. They had profound impact, and their potential was untapped. Okay, when we talk about from the perspective of mobilizing people, or when or brainwashing their mind, okay, spreading propaganda, actually people just started to realize their effect on people. So this time was direct effect. period. So, and this was an radio drama. So it was based on H.G. Wells' novel of War of the World. So the direct effect was actually stamped when this play was broadcasted. So as soon as this play was broadcasted, it was directed by Orson Welles. He is one of the most important directors of 20th century. His film Citizen Kane has been named in multiple polls as the best film of that century. So he was a very important director. So when they broadcasted this play, it created havoc among people. Okay, it spread fear among them. So radio listeners in panic, taking war drama as a fact. So there was a scene where alien attacks the city, and they thought that it was real. Okay, so this was the time of 1920s to 40s, the era of direct effect theories. Okay, then in 1940s there was a shift from direct effects. It was still going on. When we say in the 1920s to 40s, critical theories will keep on emerging throughout. So in say 1970s, there will be Habermas when he talks about the concept of public sphere. So I am just talking about the time period in which they started, okay, in which they emerged. So this idea of critical theories, actually cultural theories also borrow a lot of theories from critical theories. So social psychology is going to emerge again in 1950s, say ABX model, or also Gabner's model. They were all socio-psychological. When we talk about Johari window, okay, so they are going to keep emerging in the upcoming years also. Okay, then in 1940s, what happened? Three people, Paul Lazarsfeld, Elihu Kurtz, and Hazel Goddard, they did a wonderful experiment. So it was a positivist research. What is when they took a scientific route, they did surveys, then they inferred that from statistical knowledge. They found that mass media was okay, it was effective, but interpersonal communication, when we talk about say opinion leaders, they were actually more prominent. And there was the rise of audience reception theories in the form of uses and gratification. Okay, we are going to learn about all of them in great detail in our upcoming videos. Then during this time there was also the rise of normative theories. So if you guys remember about Hutchins Commission, you have to tell me the year of Hutchins Commission. मैंने कल भी आपको बताया था. What media should do in an ideal society. So they started thinking about it. They started reflecting about it. What should be the ideal role of media in different societies, say in a democracy or in communist setup. So there were 8-9 theories which emerged. Say democratic participant theory, authoritarian theory, social responsibility theory. Okay, so it was during this time it emerged. Okay, then 1940s there was return of powerful effect. So Joseph Clapper. Okay, then Gardner's whole work on cultivation theory, violence profile. You will see there will be a coming back of powerful effect. Okay, and then there was a new discipline which emerged. It was cultural studies. So in the Birmingham School, Richard Hogarth, then Stuart Hall, all these people, they looked at from the perspective of, very good both of you, culture, how the mass media was cultivating the culture, identities, representations, hegemony. Okay, there were many scholars like Foucault, Althusser, then Derrida. They all come under cultural theories. Okay, and 1960s a major development happened. What was it? It was the invention of internet, which actually changed the world. It changed the world, and there was no looking back. Okay, after this the society moved at a compounding rate. So the communication started to move at a compounding rate. So there were people who were talking about the role of media in society. Harold Innis, okay, then Marshall McLuhan, all these people they were talking that medium is the message or the bias of communication. Okay, so these are all perspective. You should club them together. We are going to club them together and learn about them. And then there was an attempt to learn more about the communication studies. So there was a Meherbian rule, na? You remember 35%, 9%. So what is the percentage of a code in communication? Then in 1960s there was a rise of internet. Then theories of cybernetics, Norbert Wiener. Okay, we are going to learn about all of them in great detail. And in 1970s there was the discourse from effects. Up till now it was all effect, direct effect. It changed from effects or processes to the idea of production of meaning. Yes, very good, Swag Kanya, 3855. So it came up during this time only. Okay, so in 1970s you will find there is a shift from effects or the process, what actually the media is doing, from to production of meaning. So they are actually talking about that the meaning is subjective. The people who are in cultural studies, they are talking about hermeneutics, okay, which is interpretation of text. So many of you actually do the textual analysis and those methodologies you choose in your research. It is called hermeneutics, okay, where we analyze text from our cultural perspectives. There is a shift during this time. We are looking at it from perspective of gender, class, say nationality, okay, and there is, the identities are becoming fluid. So, and then in 70s there is also Bandura's psychological modeling experiment, then Gerbner's violence profile. So social psychological impact of media. Okay, during this time in 67, Lewin Fistinger talks about cognitive dissonance, how media alters our perception. किस तरह से जो मीडिया है वो हमारे परसेप्शन पे, हमारी साइकोलॉजी पे, हमारे माइंड पे, हमारे बिहेवियर पे इफेक्ट करता है. ठीक है. Then 1980s there was a surge in new media theories. Okay, the rise of personal computers. This is also technological determinism. Why these theories are propping up? Because the medium is changing. Okay, what happened in 1980s? So Macintosh and these people, Microsoft, so there were key inventions and it led to the rise of personal computers. Okay, when people started having personal computers, the idea of communication also transgressed the boundaries of space and time. So during this time only, I guess Tomlinson was his surname, he devised email. Okay, and the communication, the idea of global village propped up, that this whole world is a village. So the idea of communication, it transgressed the concept of space and time. Okay, and there were new theories, network societies, theories of international communication. Can you guys guess what actually is international communication? It is very important and you guys have been learning about them. What actually should come in the theories of international communication? So theories of cultural imperialism, that the countries which had power to manipulate the smaller or weak countries, or electronic colonialism. Okay, all those theories, NUCO. So in development communication, what you learned was all theories of international communication. Okay, which is very important from examination point of view, looking at the power structures of communication from international perspective. What is the role of these international news agencies? Okay, then in 1990s, with the coming of the WWW and rise of satellite television. So CNN on, and you know, Star Network in India, they started coming up. There were theories of ownership, what you have all learned in unit 7 or 8. Okay, so what is cross media ownership, horizontal, vertical integration, they all started propping up in 1980s to 1990s. Okay, then the idea of media convergence, okay, all these things, they started propping up in 2000s and 1990s. Okay, then the idea of digitality. ओके, सो हमारे जो पेपर है इसमें हमें बस यहीं तक ही कवर करना है. कुछ नई थ्योरीज जो आ रही हैं, दे आर ऑल रिलेटेड टू इमर्जिंग टेक्नोलॉजीज like Internet of Things, generative AI, machine learning, okay, cloud computing. But in your exam, they just ask questions till here, okay, till 2000s. So we are going to cover from 1920s to early 2000s. Okay, so guys, that was all for today's class. We shall meet tomorrow. We will start with direct effects. Okay, and we are going to cover all the theories on our YouTube only, and there are few lectures. I want you to go through them if you have already not, because we are not going to repeat them. We shall do some sir, can I refer your videos for CUET PG? Meghna, I am actually planning to come up with few lectures. I am thinking on Sundays, but till that time you should watch this playlist. It is called History of Media. Okay, History of Media is a very important playlist in which you will find a lot of value from the perspective of your examination. But this is, I guess, little more, this channel is little more focused on UGC net, which is little it is a higher level exam, okay, for PhD and fellowship exams. So till that time you follow this playlist. I will add more videos in it. Okay, yes, I will. So tell me how many students are there who are preparing for CUET PG exam. If there are more people, if the number is good, then I can come up with some sessions, say on every Sunday for you guys. Okay, so guys, coming back, you should watch these videos. One is Indian, wait, there were few more things. Yeah. So we are going to learn about media theories from the perspective of various disciplines. First, these are all going to be separate videos, and this will cover all these 80-90 theories. Okay, अगर आप ऐसे पढ़ोगे, then you are never going to forget any theory, and you actually are going to enjoy them. Please have fun while learning about all of them. So mass society theory, then behavioral perspective, when we look at it from the perspective of psychology. Okay, B.F. Skinner, then other people, okay, even Freud also we are going to learn about his theories. Then critical theories, Frankfurt School, mass culture, political economy, okay, then art in the age of Theodor Adorno and Horkheimer, other people. Then audience reception, it will cover the theories from the perspective of audience. So agenda setting, uses and gratification, dependence, cultivation, and other theories. Then cultural theories, okay, in which we are going to learn about Richard Hogarth, then Stuart Hall, okay, Foucault, Derrida, okay, hegemony, representation, Althusser, all these people come under cultural theories of media. Then technology, this is already there, please watch it. Okay, then another very important area is internet and new media theories. They are asking a lot of questions from here also, so we are going to do this also, and this is already there on our channel. It is very important. Okay, so Asian perspective, in it we have already covered Indian perspective of communication. Okay, then this person Desanke and other people, they talk about traditional media. We are going to have a video on it. Buddhist thought is already covered, and Sadharanikaran model. Okay, unit, we are going to go in chronology within. Okay, so guys, that was all. Let's call this a day. Please like and share this video. If you have already not subscribed to our channel, subscribe it. Okay, and okay, that's all. Keep learning, and a very happy Lodi to all of you, in the people who are in North India, or if you are celebrating. So enjoy your festival also. Okay, take care, bye.